again. Shh. Keep your voice down. I'm waiting for the confidence fairy. She's expected to show up at any minute. You know who the confidence fairy is, right? She's the lady that makes the economy boom. She appears when everybody knows what their effective tax rate is going to be 2, 3, or 4 years down the road. You see, without knowing what your effective tax rate is, you're just going to sit on your money and do nothing. You're not going to start a business. You're not going to invest. You're not going to spend a dime because the future is just too uncertain. Republicans in Congress keep telling us that we shouldn't expect the confidence fairy. She's not likely to come because we don't know if our top tax rate will be 35% or 39%. And it's all Obama's fault. If the Bush tax cuts are not extended, then we're all going to be in a heap of trouble. Republicans tell us that since nobody is sure if those tax cuts are going to expire or not, that's why the economy is so weak, and it's why businesses are not hiring. It's got nothing to do with the fact that sales are down and people have lost their jobs and incomes, credit is hard to get, home prices have crashed. Nah, none of that stuff. It's all irrelevant. The real reason the economy is weak is because rich people don't know whether or not their marginal effective tax rate is going to be 35% or 39%. So therefore, we might as well just shut down the whole economy. But hey, if those tax cuts are extended, especially for those all-important job-creating rich people, then businesses are going to hire like there's no tomorrow, and everyone's going to get a big fat raise, and they're going to invest in roads and schools and hospitals and energy and you name it, and the whole economy is going to boom through the roof. Well, call me dumb, but are you kidding me? Do people really believe this stuff? The confidence fairy? Are we going to buy this Republican BS? Do you really think that some entrepreneur with a great idea or invention is sitting around wondering whether to put his business plan into action because he's not sure what his effective marginal tax rate is going to be next year or the year after? Did Thomas Edison sit around waiting for tax clarity before setting out to invent the light bulb? This is by far the most ridiculous, idiotic, and I might add comical thing I ever heard. Newsflash, people, there is no confidence fairy. You got a better chance with the tooth fairy as far as I'm concerned. Tax and fiscal policy has changed innumerable times over the history of this country, and that hasn't stopped innovation and entrepreneurship one iota. If an entrepreneur has an idea that he thinks is going to make him rich, he's going to do it regardless of what tax policy is or isn't. And if businesses are not spending and investing and hiring, it's because their products are sitting on their shelves, not because they don't know for sure what tax rate they'll be paying next year. And by the way, let's face it, up until the 1960s, the top tax bracket was 90%, and that didn't stop innovation and investment. So you're telling me a possible 4% increase is what's weighing the economy down? Taxes have gone up, they've gone down, they've been all over the map, and the economy has basically kept rolling along, and when it stopped rolling along, it was usually because of some shock or loss of demand, not because people were worried about tax policy over the coming year. The notion that the economy is slow and businesses are not hiring because we don't know whether or not the Bush tax cuts are going to expire is an argument that I don't know how anyone can make with a straight face. And by the way, didn't we hear this argument last year? And didn't we extend the Bush tax cuts in December? Well, where was the confidence fairy? She was supposed to appear according to the Republicans, right? Yet the economy is growing more slowly now than it was in the fourth quarter of 2011. We got tax clarity and we got a weaker economy. Gee, what happened there? Oh, right, that's it. It's because we're still facing the same uncertainty at the end of this year. And I got a bridge I'd like to sell you. What's truly amazing about all this, and what's impressive at the same time, is that the Republicans are so comfortable and shameless putting out these totally lame and outrageously empty arguments and expecting people to fall for them. And people do. You know, it's like these stand-up comics who do fake magic. You ever see these guys? Here, watch me pull a rabbit out of my hat. Then the guy walks off stage, grabs a rabbit, comes back on stage, sticks the rabbit into his hat, and pulls it out. Voila! The audience laughs at the sheer audacity of that. But when it comes to Republican politics, these transparent claims are no laughing matter. But they are enough to scare our president into submission. I guess the joke's really on us. Well, that's it for now, folks. This is Mike Norman saying bye-bye, and I'll see you next week.